What's going on, miners? Chump Change XD here. Hope you're all staying healthy, having a great day. Today, my man Fully Electric sent us over his KS0 Kaspa Miner. This is supposed to be one of the most efficient and profitable miners on the market currently from Ice River. No affiliation with those guys, but super thankful to my man Fully Electric for sending this over for me to test. Now, this thing in the box, as you guys saw, came with a PSU. Now, the first batch came with these. I guess they're selling them for like an extra 30 something bucks now, but this is a 90 watt little laptop power supply. This thing is supposed to pull 65 watts at 100 gigahash on Kaspa. So I am super excited to see how this thing performs on solar, because if I can run this for free from my man for a little bit, why the hell not? Now, you might see this fan here and this screwdriver. Now, this fan has a mounting point right here for the top of this unit. This is just a fan I had kicking around downstairs, so I want to try to get that screwed onto here, but the only reservation, or I guess concern I really have about it, is how the hell do you plug it in? Because I'm sure it's got the 4 pins, if I'm not mistaken, on that little fan, and there is literally no way to plug in anything except for like that USB-C port right there, or this USB port. So I don't know how the hell I'm gonna plug in a fan, but I guess I'll figure that out once we get out to the solar trailer. I guess it can run without it, or they would have sent one with it, right? Looking at the bottom here, this does have Noctua fans integrated inside this little KSO, so that's kind of cool. And I actually asked my man Fully Electric if we could rip this thing apart. So I am not going to take off the 6 screws right here unless I see fit once we get off the side ports. Now there's 2 screws here, 2 screws here, and I think I'm going to take off this plate. Hopefully we could just see inside, because I'm assuming if I take off these screws right here, I'm going to be messing with some sort of thermal paste, seeing as this thing is an entire heat sink, right? So I don't want to screw anything up, and I obviously don't want to break anything. So let's just take off the end panels quick, and then we'll get downstairs, we'll plug it into the computer, set it up in the software, and then bring it out to my solar trailer and try to get this thing up and mining. So without further ado, just before we start taking this thing apart, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
As a crypto miner, have you ever wanted to own any of these non-mineable cryptocurrencies without going through the hassle of KYC, exchange fees, and/or taxable events? Then look no further. unMineable.com provides over 75 different cryptocurrencies that are able to be acquired mining with your ASICS, mini box miners, GPUs, or even the CPU in your everyday PC. With speculative mining playing such a massive role in the crypto mining space, unMineable.com is the clear choice for most new miners and seasoned vets alike. Please go check out unMineable.com to make your crypto mining experience easier than ever.
All right, got both those ends off. Now looking inside here, we can see that it's actually not a Raspberry Pi. It's a full-size PCB that's inside this thing. It's like a giant square. Now, the interesting thing that I saw about this, trying to turn it around, this right here inside, it's a little tough to see, but let me see if I can focus the camera right there. There is a 4-pin for another fan. Now you can see the Noctua fan right there is actually plugged in right there on this side. It's kind of like right here. It's hard to see, but you guys kind of get the gist, right? So there's 2 prongs there, and there's a 3rd one in the middle. So we can take that 4-pin and we can actually hook up one of these fans. Now, I forgot that when I was doing the Jazz Miner build, if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link above, but these slim fans decided not to work properly, so I had to get the Noctua ones, but these ones would work fine. So I'm going to try to mount this one to the back side of this unit, and we will try to plug this into the board at some point. But I want to plug this thing in overall first and go make sure that it actually turns on and hashes in the computer. I think I can leave these 2 ends off. I don't need to put the screws back in, and without voiding the warranty, I'm not going to touch these screws, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I can just remove this Noctua fan, kind of shift it over inside, like reaching in, and I should be able to grab that 4-pin that's literally like right here on the board with some needle nose, just kind of plug it in. So we might do that, but either way, let me go get this thing plugged in and see what it looks like in the software. All right, she works. Here's some screenshots so you guys can see this, what the software looks like. It's pretty much just like an Antminer, same exact setup. Now, this guy right here, I actually, before I went outside and plugged it into the solar trailer, I wanted to try to plug in this fan. So I successfully got it plugged in back there. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but here is a screenshot where I took from this angle trying to get into that 4-pin. I had to like stick my fingers through there with a butter knife and kind of push it down onto it. So I'm going to plug this thing in right now, and I want to see if the fan actually comes on or not. Let's do it. Nope, didn't work. Unplugged it. Now I'm gonna actually smell test on this thing. Smells like I just burnt it. It smells like total shit. So I'm hoping this thing still fucking works. That would be absolutely terrible. All right, let me go downstairs, plug this thing in. I want to make sure everything's still hashing away. All right, heart attack averted. This thing does work. I brought it downstairs, plugged it in. We're good to go. This thing is definitely burnt. I don't know what happened. I might have been plugged in backwards, but either way, it's not worth the risk. I'm not going to grab another one, and I'm not going to plug it in the opposite way, right? There's just no point. So I actually got a USB by 4-pin adapter, or by Molex adapter rather, so I can just plug in a GPU riser's fan to the backside of this thing when we're ready. So without further ado, let's get this thing into my crypto mining solar trailer. All right, made it out here, and I brought the KS0 out here. It is not plugged in yet, but this is where I think I'm going to sit it for now. Actually, probably the other way, like this, because the fans are on top, and then the heatsink can disperse however it has to on bottom. I think that's the right way to do it, right? All right, either way, we're going to do that now. You can see right here I have a yellow extension cord. Now, I actually ran that over into the solar side of the trailer, right up here, and I just kind of wrapped it around so I could plug it in right here. Now, what this is going to do is allow me to monitor the wattage. It's only pulling 1 watt right now. That's just, I don't even know why it's pulling 1 watt, to be honest, but probably just because the drop meter, or possibly the power going through, maybe it's just getting a false reading of 1 watt. So now we're going to take the other side of this, wherever the outlet is down there, and I'm going to plug in this right here, which is my power strip for the solar stuff, until I get to actually, you know, properly cut this end off and hardwire it directly into this unit. We're going to be using it like that temporarily. So either way, let me get this all plugged in and we will fire it up. Okay, should be good to go. All plugged in, power, Ethernet, and this switch, like I said, is all plugged in now. It is plugged into number 1. So without further ado, let's make sure this fan turns on. And it does. Perfect. All right, let's leave this thing up and mining for a little bit, and then we'll get into the dashboard and we'll just see what the average hash rate is and go from there. All right, we're back. So this is the next day. I actually left this thing up and running overnight. It's been about 24 hours at this point. Now, this machine right here, I'll put a couple screenshots right here on the screen. Now, it's projected to get about 1,500 Kaspa and $38 or so at the time of recording, which is pretty amazing, right? Now, for only 65 to 70 watts, I believe it says over there. Let's go check out the drop meter real quick, and then we'll continue our conversation about this thing. It's just absolutely mind-blowing how efficient it is. Let's see. Yeah, so 70 watts. I mean, as you guys might remember, we had 1 watt here, so it's roughly almost just about exactly 70 watts, because it flashes 71 here or there. So, I mean, overall, on a solar setup, this is probably the most ideal miner I've ever put my hands on, or laid my eyes on, or even just tested for that matter. It's kind of crazy, right, overall. Now, the temperatures on that unit themselves were about 48 to 54, if I'm not mistaken. But I did get this fan USB by Molex adapter, and I want to put this GPU riser's fan on the underside of this to see how much cooler it actually makes it overall. So I'll do a little update video about this at some point. I did order an AC Infinity fan that is actually a USB fan, so it's built to just literally plug directly into a USB port, which is pretty cool. So that should be coming later on today. But overall, guys, this thing's amazing. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know down in the comments below if it is worth thinking about purchasing. I mean, I kind of want to buy one now, because I am sending this back to my man Fully Electric, but I'm going to let it run here as long as he wants me to, for free, at least for the time being. So you guys have a good day. Appreciate you all for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.